Hi, so I'm here with Kat at Masters Medspa, and we're talking totally ageless hacks. Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Very good. I'm here to talk to you about hormones.
Yes.
So there's a lot of talk about hormones, and I think a lot of misconceptions about hormones. So I would really like to learn more. If I was a client coming to you, how would I go about this? How would you take me through the process?
Sure. So most often, both men and women, we just start to feel off, and we go to our primary care doctor, provider, and they do the basic set of labs, and everything's normal. And You're just told, you're normal. It's just a part of aging is feeling fatigue, losing your libido, not being able to lose weight, etc. So people come to me and we start with our own panel of lab work that's a lot more thorough. So the panels that we order check for your electrolyte imbalances, your thyroid function, certain vitamin deficiencies, and hormones. Okay. So testosterone, estrogen, and a couple others. And testosterone is a unique test on there compared to the standard lab panels that primary providers run, because for us women, by the time we're 30, our testosterone could be 0. And that's unfortunately normal. So it's not tested because primaries aren't going to do anything about it.
Right.
And that's where we're different, where yes, it's normal that you have no testosterone, but you'd feel a lot better if you had some.
So what does testosterone do for women? Because obviously it's a male thing.
Yes.
You're not going to get body hair all of a sudden.
No,
I think.
no.
Or
change your voice.
Change your voice.
Yes, or grow a beard. So testosterone is a hormone that's responsible for our energy, libido, ability to build muscle and burn fat. And our testosterone plummets, like I was saying, when we're in our 30s. But for men, they only lose like 1 to 2% of their total testosterone per year, decade. So that's why a 50-year-old man can eat 1 salad and do 2 sit-ups, and he gets a 6-pack. Where for us, with each decade, we work out harder and harder and harder and don't get any results.
Right, so it will speed up metabolism.
Yes.
Which takes me to the other point. A lot of women start to develop belly fat, belly fat, not flat.
Yes.
That's the opposite of fat, which we don't want.
Right.
How would that help with belly fat, I imagine?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because cardio burns calories, but muscle burns fat.
Exactly.
And if we have a difficult time building muscle, we're going to have a difficult time burning fat.
Exactly. And would you have something that you specifically can offer, say someone doesn't want to do the whole hormone imbalance, but just has a problem with their middle, like me, for example?
Absolutely.
That's always the sore point.
Yeah, because there's plenty of people who don't want to try testosterone or estrogen, and I get that. So another option is growth hormone.
Okay, and how does that work?
Yeah, so there's 2 types of growth hormone medications. There's one that is synthetic, we could say, and it's just extra growth hormone that we're dumping in your system. We don't do that here because the side effects and risks are just too large. What we use is something that encourages our body to make more of its own growth hormone. And growth hormone is a hormone that declines naturally with age. And when we lose it, it makes it more difficult to build muscle and burn fat. So by supplementing your growth hormone with your body's own growth hormone, you'll find that your exercising and workouts are more effective, and you lose weight because you're burning fat. Okay. It also helps with sleep, and I've tried it. I love it. I do the same classes at the gym over and over, and I know, okay, when we're doing biceps, I'll pick up 10 pounds.
Yeah.
When the growth hormone kicked in, maybe 2 weeks after starting, I would pick up the 10-pound and I felt like I was picking up a feather.
Really?
It made me so much stronger, not like a steroid or anything like that, but just the ability to increase my weightlifting made me see results faster. And I also recovered faster as well.
And it will help. So if you're doing sit-ups, they actually work.
Yes.
Rather than you're just doing sit-ups for no reason at all.
Right.
Which happens.
And one of the growth hormone that we use, it's actually FDA approved to target burning fat in the abdomen area for patients who have HIV and have lipodystrophy, which just means that their body is putting fat in undesirable places.
Yeah.
So it works. It really targets the abdominal fat.
It does. Okay, so this sounds fantastic, like everybody's dream. We should all be on it. But we should talk about what are the risks and what, because that I think is on a lot of people's, we hear a lot of things about hormones and breast cancer.
Right.
Et cetera, et cetera. So what would you say are the risks with this?
Sure. So for the growth hormone, when we're starting it, some people respond by retaining some water. It's temporary, but you do have to get through that initial stage if you do experience that side effect.
How long would that be?
Maybe a week or two.
Okay.
And that also happens with testosterone because your body sees more water and it binds to the muscle and it will go away, but for some people it's upsetting.
Right.
The other thing too is the downside is the stuff that really works you have to inject.
Right.
And so if you're uncomfortable with injecting yourself, even though the needles are super small, that could be an obstacle. There are lozenge versions of the growth hormone, and I've tried that as well. It's just not as effective.
Right.
But it does work. It's just not as strong.
What's the kind of price point for this?
So it depends if you want to do the lozenge or the injectable. For growth hormone, it's $500, and it depends on your dose. So I'd say for your average woman, that one vial would last 2 months.
Right.
If you want to take it up a notch and you love the results and you have a bikini competition you're doing, then the vial wouldn't last as long.
Right. Okay.
And then
sorry to interrupt. Can you come off it and on it, or do you have to stay? Okay.
No, you should do little cycles.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so how long would your cycle be?
So I would say use the vial. So let's say 2 months, and then take a month or two off.
Okay.
Because your growth hormone levels will still be elevated from when you did the injections, and we want to give your receptors in your body a break.
Okay.
And as for hormones, the price point really depends on what option you want to go with.
Okay.
So my personal favorite are pellets, because I would insert them in the office and they last for women about 4 months and for men 6 months.
Okay.
So you kind of set it and forget it. And for women, those are $600. Now, if that totally freaks you out, you don't want to do pellets, there's creams available.
Yes, I've heard about
patches.
Those. Yeah.
And ultimately, it all ends up costing all very similarly.
And I'm presuming that, say you were a little nervous about doing a pellet straight away, because once it's in, it's in.
Right.
And if it goes, maybe your levels are a bit off, then you can't do anything about it. And if you do a little cream, you can subsidize.
Exactly.
But then you could maybe possibly work out the right dosage for the pellet as well. Would work like that or not?
Sort of. Okay. But I have plenty of people. No, you're on the right track. I have a lot of people who are just afraid of the commitment.
Right.
And I tell people, I'm like, in 8 years, I've never had one person ask me to remove a pellet.
Okay.
But still, I get the fear. So we could start someone on a cream and then see how they like it. And once they like it, oftentimes they would switch to the pellet because they get sick of putting a cream on every day.
Right. And is there any risk of breast cancer or anything nowadays? Because I know that is something quite significant.
There's definitely a stigma about that. And there's been plenty of studies to show that hormones do not cause breast cancer. Well, it's not a rumor because it was true, but there's a medication called Premarin, and that had terrible side effects.
Right.
And the reason for that was the hormones were derived from pregnant mares.
I know about
urine.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot the most
It was
important part, the
awful.
urine.
Yes.
So of course, bad things are going to happen.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we use something called bioidentical hormones, which are hormones that look exactly like the hormones in your own body,
Brilliant.
not a horse's.
Yes. Do not take horse piss.
Yeah. Yes. Please no.
Please don't do that. No, having horses, I know what is in horse piss. Don't want it in your body.
Oh yeah. But actually, hormones have shown to increase lifespan, not decrease it. So,
I did hear that as well.
It's terrific for our bones.
Yes.
Estrogen is crucial for our bone health. And when you're in menopause, you don't have that estrogen to support your bones.
So who exactly is this for? When would you say is the best time to get tested? Yes, maybe if you're feeling a bit tired, but I think some people don't realize that their hormones are low and they might have all of these symptoms, but they just think, I've been working too hard.
Right.
So, or, I'm just naturally tired. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Is there an age? What do you think is the right time to take, to just even do the test and see?
Yeah, I would start, like you said, just to even get the test, mid to late 30s.
Really?
But I would wait until you're done having a family.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to give someone testosterone or estrogen if they were not done having kids. But growth hormone is a different story. But just get the test late 30s and see where your levels are.
So how do pellets work? Tell me how they work.
Sure. So the pellets are about the size of a grain of rice.
Okay.
And I insert them most commonly at the top of the booty area or the love handle, anywhere there's some fat. And the pellet breaks down based on your cardiac output. So if you're really active and you need the hormone, a little bit of the pellet will break down and it's released directly into your bloodstream, which is great because if we eat estrogen or testosterone, some of it goes to our stomach, some of it goes to our liver, places that we don't necessarily need it or can utilize it. So it takes about 6 weeks for the pellets to be working full force, and they last about 4 months for women.
Okay.
And my philosophy is to start low, because we can always add more.
Yeah.
And so we start low. There's an algorithm. I take your age, your height, your weight, your lab values, your activity level, and the pellet company gives me a recommended starting dose. And from my experience, it's better to do 1 dose below. And then in 6 weeks, we would recheck your lab work. And if you feel great and your labs look good, then that's your dose. We're cool. But on a rare occasion, maybe 1 out of 100 people, they end up wanting more. So I invite them, come in free of charge, and let's add a little bit more.
Okay.
But that way we're not overdoing it off the bat.
Yeah. So I do have a question for people who are vegan, or might, have issues about animal welfare, etc. I know we don't do the horse pee anymore because that was nasty. But so what actually are these hormones made from? Where do they come from?
The hormones are derived from yams.
My favorite food. Do I need hormones? I eat yams all the time.
It's worth looking into. We should do your labs.
Yes, why not? I probably am a yam.
Yeah, so they're yams, so they are vegan friendly.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Great to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And thank you for Masters Medspa for being fantastic. It's my highly go-to place. I am a part of a Totally Ageless program, which is my wellness coaching program, and I work directly with Masters Medspa because they are my #1 go-to place. And Kat, thank you so much.
Yes.
I will be recommending your services straight away.
Oh, let's get your labs checked. I'm excited.
Let's do it. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.